What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about it. This is The Passage, Season 1, Episode 6. This was a pretty good episode. I don't want to waste any time, so let's go ahead and get into it. Brad and Amy are locked inside an elevator. They're trying to get help to get them out, and Brad is telling Amy, you know, that scream that you did back there, what was it? How did you do it? She says she doesn't know how she did it. But basically, he's telling her, do not tell anybody that you have these powers. Do not show that you have these powers because he don't trust the people. She's thinking about that book. All she wants is that damn book this whole episode. She wants that damn book, okay? So she like, I just want my book, okay? Okay, whatever you say, I just want my book. Clark and them open the elevator. They rescue her, and they say they're going to take them to the safe room. He asks about Winston, and he says Winston is still out there, and, you know, they're going to try to find him. Jonas is with his wife, and she kind of they discuss a little bit what happens, because she's questioning, like, you know, nobody has ever came back from Alzheimer's, you know, like, what's going on with me? And he's about to tell her what happened to her. Sykes and Horace meet up, and basically she's telling him, listen, I told you that it was going to be like this. I gave you a warning. I tried to tell y'all that these damn animals, things, species, vampire, zombie things, is gonna be bad for everybody. We need to shut the whole thing down. And Horace is like, hell no, I ain't about to shut it down, girl. Y'all been working on humans for 3 years. We done invested all this money into this project, and this is the first time we seeing something fruitful. So, girl, we gonna see where it go. See where it go? Boy, what is you? And he says if Winston get out there and get to a populated area and hurt a whole bunch of people, that her and Jonas is going to be the ones that's going to pay the price. Lear, I think that's his last name. They're going to be the ones to pay the price, not him, baby. So they're going to see what happened, and she needs to stop being a hypocrite, because basically now you done stuck a child. You ain't had no problem doing that when you thought it was a virus, but now it's a problem because we going to make them weapons or whatever. Horace is a terrible person, and I know one of them things is going to eat him up eventually. We have a flashback, and it's Sykes and Shauna. So this whole episode, they're revealing, like, their relationship, what kind of relationship they had. They had kind of started a little friendship. So Sykes is just saying that she's bored, she's in there getting a checkup, and she would like to see a movie, a scary movie with some pizza. And you know, Sykes is like, I don't know if I don't want to do that for you, whatever. Or Shauna is in there doing that. Excuse me, I don't know if I said that wrong, but Sykes is like, I don't know, I'll see what I can do. And you know, they just kind of making a little playful banter between them two. She's trying to like establish a friendship, but if you notice, this is a pattern that Shauna does. She draws people in. She's very good at that. She's in a daze. The officer wakes, or you know, calls her and gets her out of her daydreaming, Sykes that is, and tells her that she's needed upstairs. So we got Brad and Amy in the safe room, and she still want her book. Okay, he like, I know you want your book, honey, but you know, we don't have time to look at it. He keep dismissing her every time she asks about this book. Okay. And they are talking about Winston. Winston is off the perimeter, child. He gone. He done snatched the thing out his neck, and he done jumped over the fence, child. He out there. And they like, this can be crazy. You know, he could be anywhere. And Amy is saying that she can feel him. And Brad like, shut up, girl, shut up. Don't be saying that out loud. And the people like, huh? You said you could do what, huh, girl? You could feel him. Where he at? They all come over to him, and, you know, they're like, are you reading his mind? And she's like, I see lights, and I see, you know, headlights, and I see a highway. And they're like, okay, he off of this highway. So they go to start tracking him. Brad is like, I told you not to tell anybody that you have these powers, because he don't want her to get involved in it at all. And she was like, listen, I can help. You know, think of all the people that he could hurt. Think of all the things that he could do, so I can help find him. So she kind of like overrides him in that moment. As Clark is getting ready to suit it and booted to get out of there, homegirl stops him. Sykes says, you know, please don't, you know, be careful. Take care of Amy, and, you know, don't die while we're in a fight. Like, they trying to make us believe that they're in an actual relationship. But child, he is having imaginary love making with he got an imaginary boo. He not thinking about your ass, Sykes, girl. He is worried about Shauna, old decrepit, broke down coochie, which she should have killed 2 weeks ago. But you know who I mean. I put together that this is one of Clark's people that kidnapped, what's her name? Lila. Ex-wife. I got her name, Lila. So he gets out of the car, and she like, what's going on? They on the middle of the street. They see a body laying down in the street. He goes over to the body to try to see what's up. And the viral jump out. Winston jump out the bushes and eat his ass up, okay? Lila jump out the car, and she runs away. Brad and Amy are walking, you know, up to the scene of the crime, because they didn't all figure this out. And basically he says, tell him first if she have any flashes. Don't tell nobody damn else, okay? And he telling her to stay close, but then stay back and stay close again. She all confused. I was confused too, girl. She was like, listen, I'm doing what you told me to do. You told me to do like 10 things at once. So Brad figured out that it was Lila that was in the car, you know, that with the other person. He figures out it was another person, and he confronts Clark about this, and Clark was like, listen, she was a liability. You should have never got her involved. And they start to fight, and while they're fighting, Amy starts seeing things. She says she's seeing trees, she's seeing a cabin, and she's seeing a lady. And so Horace is just, you know, he's like totally enraptured by the fact that this girl can do these things, not the fact that it's about to be a whole ass apocalypse, like these things about to be eating and taking over people's body. Child, he ain't even worried about that shit. He just so fascinated by Amy. So she said he went in this direction because she tells them, I see this, this, and this, and they like, okay, well, can you give us a little more help? And she was like, yeah, he went that direction, and she just take off running. I said, little girl, why is you just running off, girl? What is you doing? Jonas and his wife, they just finished screwing. I said, boy, you know you gonna get you some cootie cat, okay? You gonna get you some of that vampire cootie cat before them 48 hours is up, okay? So him and his wife got it in. And once again, she said she's done a lot of research on Alzheimer's, and, you know, nobody ever comes back from it. Fanning came to her, and Fanning told her that he would save her. Jonas starts to tell her what's going on, tell her the whole convoluted story. We're back to Amy and Brad, and they're arguing a bit. She says that he is not her daddy, and, you know, she just going off on him. They going back and forth, and Horace then walks up again and is like, you know, I'm sorry to interrupt this moment, but we got somebody to find and kill. Like, y'all need to wrap this shit up. And she was like, okay, well, they going in this direction, and they continue to go where she's directing them to go. We see Jonas and his wife, and she's trying to process this story that Jonas has told her. She was like, this whole thing is crazy. You got to be lying to me, right? This is not real. And he was like, no, it's real, girl. This the real deal. And she was like, you know, I'm trying to think of a story where you wake up from this, you know, because she described Alzheimer's and how dark and how scary it was and how this and the other, only to be waking up and find that you're going to turn into like this horrible blood-eating monster in 48 hours. And then she started going off on him about, you did this to 12 people and now you got a child involved. And what about his funeral, Fanning's funeral? She's like, I was at his funeral, like what was in that box? And, you know, she's really upset. And she said, well, now I know the end is coming now. And then we see Jonas and Sykes talking, and he tells her about Elizabeth and what Fanning did, how she was infected, and she has an idea. When Amy screamed, it flatlined Fanning's signal, sign, whatever he doing to the other people. So she was like, maybe if we make a virus from her blood and not his blood, you know, it will overtake his virus and we can stave off the Alzheimer's and we can keep her from turning. So, you know, Jonas tell her, go with that. So Fanning comes to Winston as he's eating the lady in the cabin and basically goes off on him and tells him, what the hell is wrong with you? We were almost there. We was about to do it big. We was about to eat all these people. What the hell is wrong with you? You messing up the plan with your ignorant ass. And he like, and Winston like, look, I got out of here. We top of the food chain. I saw an opportunity to get out and I took that opportunity. And Fanning is basically like, I'm trying to figure out a way to get you back in the fold. But what you need to understand is the little girl is tracking you and they're going to find you. They're leading them straight to you. So you need to figure out a way to kill her before they find you, and or before they kill him or whatever. And Winston is just like, well, I thought she was family. I thought we weren't gonna kill her. And he was like, I don't know what she is or whatever, but you know, she can find you. Basically, I don't know what she on. She ain't like the rest of us. She different. Okay, so you need to go ahead and kill her. We see Shauna and Sykes talking again. This is another flashback. She brings her the pizza in the movie. I think it was The Fly or something. And Shauna like talks her into staying with her to watch the movie. And after the movie is over with, she notices that Sykes has a semicolon tattoo. I'm assuming that people get the semicolon tattoo when they've tried to commit suicide. And Shauna shows her that she has one also. She said she was 14 years old and she took a whole bunch of Tylenol. And then Sykes tells her, well, I was 18 and, you know, it was serious when I did it or whatever. And so she tells hers was serious too because you could overdose on Tylenol. And they like, I'm glad you survived. So they like bond, you know, they have a bonding moment. They're actually like starting a friendship or whatever. And we see Lila knocking on the door of the cabin. Basically, this is the cabin where Winston was Ethan people, right? But, you know, she don't know that. So she knocking on the cabin door. She finds the woman laying down there. The woman is still alive. You already know what this is about to be, okay? So she a doctor, of course, so she started trying to stitch the woman up and, you know, helping the lady. Joan is checking in with Sykes, and she says she has introduced the viruses against each other, and she's trying to see which virus is going to win out. Hopefully, Amy's will overtake Fannon's, and they have found a cure for this. But the update is Winston is still out there. Liz is still tripping. You know, she trying to process everything that's happening. She's upset. And Jonas starts to, you know, feel guilty. He did this, you know, and she's like, I've been here from the beginning, you know, I did it too. So they just basically having a pity party for each other, talking about how they started the end of the world, okay? And Jonas is just like, how can the government not see this? How can they not see this as a failure? How? I'm like, y'all been there for 3 years, my nigga, and you just now realizing it was gonna be a failure, dude. Like, bro, I don't buy it. Okay, I don't buy it. And Sykes is just like, Nick, go back to your wife, okay? Because it's happening now. We in this thing. It's going on. So we got to deal with it at this point. So shoulda, coulda, woulda, ain't going to do nobody no good. Just go back to your wife. Take care of your wife. We in another flashback, and this is where Sykes comes to Clark. This is when they first meet each other. So Shauna is kind of the reason they got together, because Shauna asked Sykes to go to the movies for her and watch A Quiet Place. And so she goes to Clark to get clearance from him, and he tells her, basically, you don't need my clearance. You're head of medical. You don't need my clearance for you to leave and go to the movies. And then he asks her if she want company. So that's how they kind of got together at the, you know, at the beginning of the whole situation. Lila in the cabin, and the lady wakes up, and she's trying to calm the lady down. The lady trying to get up, and she like, calm down, you know, because your wound gonna open. And the lady starts saying, I feel great. I feel good. I feel good. I knew that I would now. Woo! So good. So good. Woo! I'm about to eat you. Listen, she started feeling real good. That hoe say 2 cups of sugar. 1 cup of milk. That bitch was about to drink you like some coffee with some cream and sugar and make your ass in a cupcake, okay? So she go to jump on Lila, and Lila busts upside the head. And at this very moment, Clark and Brad and the whole crew, they bust in and they shoot the lady or whatever, and they kill her. They put the light on her and they kill her. They go over to, you know, he run over and grab Lila, and he hugging on her or whatever. Brad and Amy talk, and they like, you know, it's worse than they thought. They can make more of themselves or whatever. And Lila just lays into both of them, Clark and Brad, telling them how trifling they are. They knew this shit was gonna go wrong. What is wrong with him? What are they doing? What he done got himself involved in? Especially Clark. She like, boy, what's wrong with you? You used to be a good person. Like, what the hell are you doing? And so Horace is there too, and he don't give a damn about none of that. Amy is wonderful. You know, Amy starts seeing stuff again. She starts seeing clocks and pipes and water and all of this. And Horace is like, that is wonderful. That is just fascinating. You are absolutely amazing. Horace don't care about nobody. He don't care about none of this shit. No, Horace say, I work for the government, okay? And we gonna harness this power. But the crazy thing is, if the end of the world comes, then that's not really gonna make a difference. But you know, whatever. So Clark figures out that the thing, what's his name, Winston, is at a pumping station. They have a few clicks away, so they go off to the pumping station. And then we see Fannin, he comes to Liz. So he's sitting with Liz and telling her that, you know, about how he was going to save her. He says his mind is sharp, and, you know, everything about him is sharp, and he has hope, I think. And she said, you hope that Jonas is going to find a cure? And he was like, no, he ain't going to find no cure. The virus is the cure. We aren't monsters, because she's like, Jonas said you were monsters. And he was like, we are not monsters. They are the monsters. They keeping us locked up, and this is the cure for the human race, and we about to go to the biggest party, and you know everybody ain't invited, girl. You won't be a part of the family, girl. You won't be in the club, girl. So Liz might turn to the other side, and I think that's probably what's gonna happen. She probably gonna go to the other side or whatever. She got a special invitation, honey. She is VIP to the vampire party. All right. Lila is walking with Brad as they walking through the woods, and she telling him, look, this shit is crazy, because now y'all have one viral that can infect a whole bunch of people like immediately. So basically well, I explain in a second. And she said it's highly contagious, and that's like catastrophic. They don't even understand how catastrophic this can be. And so she says Amy exhibiting symptoms, and she's like, yeah, Amy is exhibiting symptoms. She's stronger, she's faster, she got an attitude. And she was like, well, you know, that ain't really, you know, it's just, you know, she going through puberty. And he was like, damn, we ain't make it that far, you know, with our daughter. And, you know, I'm trying to help her, and everything I do, it seems like she thinks I'm the enemy. And then Lila is just like, listen, she done been through a lot in the past, what, week or two? So, like, she has no control over her life. So she just probably wants some agency and some control over her life. So just, you know, think about that. Brad apologizes to her for bringing her into all of this mess in the first place. At the pumping station, Clark and them is like, listen, we got to go in right now. We can't wait. And Horace wants to take Amy inside. And Amy is like, yeah, I'm going. And Brad is like, hell no, you ain't going. He was like, I don't want nothing bad to happen to you. And she was like, listen, something bad has already happened to me, bro. Y'all kidnapped me. Y'all put the virus inside of me. My mama died. Like, I don't have my book. Okay? So, like, I'm gonna need you to just get out my face and let me do me. All right? Lila is like, listen, I got this. We're going to take the walkie-talkie. We're going to be out here on lookout, and y'all can go in there. And everybody seems to agree, so they, you know, they go ahead and execute the plan. And when they walk off, Brad tells Gilliam, is that his name? Brad tells Horace that Amy is not falling for his plan. And he's like, I don't know. I think we getting along pretty well. I don't think she's falling for it either, because we have to remember she is a mind reader, so she can read this man's mind. So she know what he's thinking. So I don't think Amy is falling for that. I think she just liked the fact that she can be helpful. She can have people listen to her for a change. You know, things of that nature. We back in the flashback again, and Shauna and Sykes, they're talking about the movie that Shauna went to go. I mean, they're talking about the movie that Sykes went to go see for her. Like I said, the movie was A Quiet Place. And then Shauna questions her about why she chose to join the army, or why she chose to join the military and do this. And Sykes tell her, well, surviving was something that's second nature to her, or was, I don't know, but she said she wanted to join because she wanted to do something good. Okay, she thought she was helping the world. She was doing something good. Shauna says, well, she used to want to die, but the reason why she took the sketchy deal is because now she wants to live. And so she says, I know somebody else was here before me because I can see the scratch marks on the back of the bed that was Winston's bed. So what happened to those people? And Sykes just is basically beating around the bush, telling her, you know, whatever happens, you know, I'm going to be here with you the whole step of the way. I'm your doctor, X, Y, and Z. And Shauna's like, you ain't answered the question, girl. I asked you what happened to them people, girl, and you ain't tell me what happened to the people, sis. And she was just like, you know, I'm gonna be with you every step of the way, girl. You about to turn into a monster. You look good. You look good. You know what I'm saying? You look good. You smell good. You know, you're young. You looking all right. You look like you might make it through. So I'm gonna be right here. So something bad gonna happen to you is basically what they saying. Sean ain't stupid. Now we see Brad and Clark. They're entering the pumping station, and they shooting some of the virals. And so now we can see is more virals starting to pop up. He out here biting more people or whatever. We back to Sykes in the lab, and her plan is not working. The blood is not, you know, beating Fannon's blood. It's beating her blood. So Shauna comes to her at this moment, and Sykes is just like, it's about time you showed up. I knew you was probably going to be here sooner or later. And Shauna is basically saying, we were friends. You know, I thought we had a good relationship, and when I turned, it was like none of that mattered. And Sykes was just like, well, according to your brain scans, I didn't think you was there no more. And she was just like, you abandoned me, and, you know, I've been thinking about our relationship, and, you know, you are a really bad person because you think you doing a good, you think you a good person, you think you doing a good thing. Sykes is like, what do you want, girl? And she telling, and Sean is telling her, you need to stop lying, you need to stop pretending, you need to, you're not gonna find a cure, you're not going to act like, you need to stop pretending that you're not gonna, that you're gonna live through this whole thing, that you're not gonna die, girl. We're gonna eat you, bitch. We're gonna eat Jonas, bitch. You ain't gonna find no cure, girl. And Sykes is like, what do you want? She was like, bitch, I want everything. I want everything you love. Everything you love, I'ma eat it and kill it, okay? And then I'ma eat you. She said she want to know what she tastes like. I said, child, chocolate. You know, it seems to me that Dr. Sykes knows that she probably not gonna make it out of the situation alive, or like something bad is on the horizon. So, you know, at this point, Shauna's vitriol it is what it is, because, I mean, it's not like, I think that Sykes is feeling the weight of what she's done now, but to me, it's kind of like, well, you played your part in it, and you're going to get your comeuppance soon. You know, I like Dr. Sykes. I think that she's a nice person, but you did participate in this shit for 3 years. You did lie to these people. You did form a relationship with her at one time, because even Jonas was like, or even one of the other, Clark was like, should you be forming a relationship with her? And she was like, no, it's a bad idea, but you know, that's what's happening. So you did all of this stuff, you know what I mean? Thought you was doing the right thing, yes, but you did all these wrong things, so you're going to get your comeuppance. Doing stuff that you know is wrong, that you know is immoral because somebody told you to do it, you feel like that's the right thing to do. Now you're gonna get yours too. Y'all out here and putting viruses up in people, girl, that was not right. You should not have been experimenting on humans. We're not supposed to do that. Doctors are not supposed to be doing that, right? So I feel bad for you a little bit, But not really, because, you know, you're going to get yours. That's what you get for playing God. Jonas is watching her while this whole thing is happening, and he tells her that Fanning came to Liz and told Liz that, you know, this was a cure. He told her that this was a cure for the whole humanity, and that Shauna is right. They are going to kill her. Okay, so what they need to do is beat him to the punch. They need to kill all of them. He was like, Fanning is my best friend, and Elizabeth is my wife, and I'm about to kill both their ass, okay, because I don't have time for this shit, and we about to just go ahead and nix this whole plan. Us, you in? You in, sis? And sis was like, I'm in, bitch. We finna kill these hoes, okay, today. You see Brad and Clark, they up in the station shooting up people, you know, bada, shoot. Winston done got out. He attacked one of the officers, the police people outside. And, you know, he done ate them up too. And Amy and Lila in the bushes, and she like, he coming for me. Like, I can feel it. He's coming for me. So she just take off running. And she's like, I bet I'm faster than him. And Winston starts chasing her. And he chases her into this building. And so you can tell she's in a garage. I don't know if it's a house or a business or whatever the case may be. But it's like a garage type situation. She get in the car. She get out. She walking around the garage. And he grabbed her by the neck. And he got her choked up. In some kind of way, she like screaming. And she pushed this whole shelf down on him from being up in the air in his arms. That's just crazy, right? And the door opens. The garage door opens. And it's Brad and Clark and them. And they shoot him in the head. And all the virals that Clark and them were at the pumping station, all the virals that they were fighting, they died too as soon as Winston died. So whoever gave you the virus, once they die, the virus will die out of whoever he infected. So that was that's something interesting that's not common with, you know, vampire type stories or whatever. We see a talk with Brad and Amy. You know, they got to have their father-daughter moment. And, you know, he tells her he's going to find the book, and he apologizes for not listening to her, and she apologized for being an asshole. She just said she missed her mama, and, you know, they little girl's crying. I mean, it was tears dripping down your cheek. She was really crying. I was like, girl, you better act, little girl. Okay, but apparently this little girl don't work with Denzel Washington. She don't work with a lot of people, so, you know, she an actress. And, you know, he was telling her, I know you miss your mama, and he tells her finally that he lost a daughter that was her age, and he think about his daughter 100 times a day, and she was like, I think about my mama 200 times a day. And so they hug, and, you know, they apologize to each other. And Clark walks up, and he's like, is everything okay? And then they like, well, you know, shit, as okay as it's gonna be. Brad says to Clark to please don't make them go back to the place, and Clark tells him, no, I want you to go back, but we're gonna come up with a plan to get all three of y'all out of there, because this whole shit, this thing about to go to shit. Like, I can see that now. Horace pulls up, and he said that Amy is riding with him, hop in, and that Clark and Brad and his wife are going in another car, in the car behind them. But when they drive off, Brad goes to walk to the car, and somebody knocks him over the back of the head. So obviously this is Horace, something to do with Horace. He trying to separate Brad and Amy so he can get to Amy and make her do whatever they trying to make her do or whatever. Because I don't think that was Clark. Some people were saying it was Clark was tricking him, but I don't think that's the case or whatever. I think Clark can kind of see that this shit finna go left. Okay, so like I'm about to stop following orders, bitch, because this is about to go to the wrong way. Sykes and Jonas are down in a dungeon with the virals, and they ready to kill all of them. So she runs out. She said he's gonna give him some more time because she sees that Amy and them are pulling up, and he turns up the heat and he start burning them. So we see Amy and Clark and Horace, they're getting out of the car. Amy asks about Brad in the car behind him, and Horace is like, oh, they'll be along in a minute or whatever. He kind of just play it off. And or Clark asked about the car, and they just play it off. And then Amy doubles over in pain, and so they bring out the bed for her or whatever, the gurney, and Liz is in pain too. She doubles over in pain too. Lights come out, and they trying to like help her and work on her and ask her what's wrong, and she says something is burning. So they figure out that Jonas, because he's killing all the other ones and they're all connected, that they're killing her too. So they run down there and get Jonas to stop. And all of them were really like burnt up at this point. They were like really burning. And so you can see that Fanning is really, really mad. Like you can see the look on his face is like, bitch, I'd eat your ass right now if I could. A ball is rolling down the hallway to Sykes, and she picks up the ball, and Shauna is like, girl, you living in a horror story or whatever, and somebody will see you soon. And then we see Jonas' face again, child, and that's the way it went on. I thought it was pretty good. Like I said, I feel like they're gonna take us through the whole season before they actually break out and start eating motherfuckers, and you know it turned into the real apocalypse or whatever. So all of this, you know, we're gonna get out soon, and we're gonna do this soon, and all of that shit soon is kind of like, okay, when is it gonna happen? But I did like the fact that everything wasn't running smoothly on the viral side either. You got Winston who done broke out and caused all this drama, you know, so they plan can't even go on as, you know, they thought it would or whatever. So Still good acting from the girl, from Brad. I knew at some point they was probably going to try to get separated or they was going to start arguing with each other. But, so I'm excited to see how that's going to play out and when Amy's full power is going to manifest. So I want to hear what you guys thought about this episode this week, okay? So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You already here. You stayed this long. Why don't you just go ahead and do it? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell if you want to know when I put up the videos. So if you want to follow me on social media, you absolutely can. At Who is April Dawn on Twitter, on Snapchat, and on Instagram. I probably Instagram the most. I Snapchat a little bit, and I Twitter hardly ever, okay? But if you want to follow me, child, go ahead and follow me. All right, so I'll holler at y'all next week. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.